The streetlight at the end of the block blinks off just as I step into the first pale stretch of morning. My hands stay in my pocket for the first few steps, then come out once the air stops biting. A sprinkler clicks somewhere out of sight. A crow lifts from a power line and heads across the street without sound. My pace is slower than usual, steady enough that I can hear my own breathing settle before the day really starts.
The ember stirs, the morning calls. Curiosity moves through it all.
You're joining me on the Ember Walk, where curiosity meets motion. I'm David Dysart. Together we'll take a few minutes to step through one idea that shapes the craft of enrollment. This is the end, book one. Not the end of the work, the end of this first arc. We started with the basics, with first files, first mistakes, first moments of reverence, with the reminder that craft starts in attention, not the motion. That speed can hide weak things and weak thinking. That dashboards can flatten truth when you stop asking what sits underneath them. That a person can look productive and still be drifting away from the reason they entered the work. Then the pressure got more real. We moved into friction. Then the pressure got more real. We moved into friction, shared work, conflict and timing, the actual discipline of letting other people stand close to the fire with you. We moved into precision, learning to control the whole arc of a decision instead of only the hit. We moved into perception and reading the metal before trying to shape it. Signal, silence, delay, behavior that speaks before the outcomes do. We moved into response, learning that caring is not volume and support's not pressure. Then we came here, to continuity, to what remains when your hands are no longer at the center of the process. That's actually the spine of this first book. And through it all, the question stayed about craft. What kind of builder are you becoming under pressure? What kind of work are you leaving for the next person? What kind of team are you helping to create by the way you explain, decide, correct, and step back? I need to say the less polished part out loud too. A lot of my own drive comes from fear. Fear of missing something, fear of being responsible for a preventable mistake. Fear that if I stop moving, the weakness underneath the system will become visible. Craft has helped me deal with that. Building stronger processes, naming logic clearly, making better decisions, and slowing the swing. All of that matters. It also gave me somewhere to hide if I was not careful. There were times when building and being useful became a way of staying in control. But that's not the same thing as leadership. This season's been a correction for me too. A reminder that the work is not only to build smarter systems, the work's to become steadier inside of them. To let go where control is feeding fragility. To teach what I know instead of proving that I know it. To make room for other people's hands on the work. To actually let the forge stay lit without treating my own presence like the flame itself. And that may be the hardest lesson in the whole thing. Because a lot of us were trained, whether that's formally or really just informally, to confuse exhaustion with importance. To think the person carrying the most must matter the most. To think that the one who rescues the process is the one holding the place together. Sometimes the opposite's true. Sometimes the strongest builder is the one whose influence shows up in decisions other people now know how to make. That's what I want more of. More work that holds, more clarity that transfers, and more design that lowers panic. More teams that can think with each other instead of waiting for a single answer to arrive. It's more craft that survives season, turnover, pressure, and even mood. Less heroics, less noise, less dependence disguised as excellence. So, as book 1 closes, I'm not interested in a grand summary. I'm interested in one clean action. What can you do this week that makes the Forge stronger without making you the hero of the story? Maybe it's documenting the process that still lives in your head. Maybe it's teaching the judgment behind a report instead of only the sequence. Maybe it's fixing the guardrail you've ignored because you know how to avoid the edge yourself. Maybe it's letting someone else carry a piece of the work without stepping in the first sign of strain. Maybe it's just cutting one rescue out of your routine and replacing it with repair. Pick one thing that lowers dependence and increases durability. Let your spark speak, and let us know in the comments or DM me. What was that one thing? And how does it feel to tend to that flame? Keep that streetlight in mind as you head into the day. It shut off because the light was no longer needing it. Strong work knows when to hold and when to let the morning take over. And that's the Ember Walk. The Forge is yours now. Go make something worth the heat. Then make it strong enough for someone else to carry.
Step by step, the spark will talk. This is the end.